Well, we're back. This is, I'll jump back in here. We are in session 45 of Strange Times Ahead. We're in Across the Atlantic, session 18. For a quick recap of what had happened, you guys had been tracking down some crew members that that had been pointed out to you as potentially suspicious new members of the crew. You had the cook and steerage, Dillick Kaplan, who Brady had spoken with. You had the steward, Dolores Talbot. Draper had spotted her on the way to seeing Mrs. Hastings and spoken with her. You had the cook, first class, Mark Markopoulos, who had been seen later on by Brady when you guys went to dinner, who had seemed disheveled, was very abrupt with you. Brown curly hair, large, heavy-set man, who may have been the right size to be a fishman. You finally had the steward, Mehmed Demir, who was still pending. You had not yet spoken with him. Draper had spotted a suspicious man following them, surprised him in a stairwell, turned about and followed him. He headed out to the deck, and he was very uneasy. You basically had kind of cornered him. He had lit a cigarette and made some excuses and headed back inside to below decks. You had talked about how to distract Miss Green. Wright went to ask Mrs. Hastings. Draper following along. You find Mrs. Hastings in the library still. Miss Green needs to be distracted during the night, and that's when the spell will be cast. You decide to meet for dinner, and Mr. Wright is going to chat her up and ask her for an interview so that she does not follow Mrs. Hastings to bed. Mr. Watts has some tablets and tea delivered to him and some water based on the Draper having talked to the stewardess. Then finally, you regroup in the room. Flinders and Baker are on their way back, Baker having convinced the captain to allow Flinders to be released into your care. Flinders is going to come and help in the evening, going to get his stuff and keep an eye out for the people watching him and meet back up after dinner. Flinders is also due to bathe because he is stinky. An insane man bursts into the hall and runs for it. Watts runs after him and tackles him. Wright gets a crewman to come and help, manage to get the guy up and talk him down from jumping off of the ship. The crewman takes you down to the crewman takes all of you down to steerage to bring the guy down. All of you, three of you. There's a room that is being guarded. There's yelling inside. Another of the people locked up tries to make a break for it when the door is open, but you keep them under control. Watts and Wright head back. Basically, you had seen that in this room there were several different people who all had some kind of delirium that was afflicting them. That was basically driving them to madness, that they believed that they must escape, that something was chasing them, something was going to happen, and they had visions of the deep of the fishmen coming to accost them. You go and take a look around in the man's room. It is overturned. The Draper finds the man's diary, and it has a picture of a deep one in it, fully transformed one. The man had descended into madness over the last few days. You make a copy of the drawing, but you put the diary back. You move the box with the true artifact into the man's now unused room. After finding the key in there with a careful look, you lock the room up. Draper is setting up a set of tripwires to monitor the man's room and potentially the other rooms around you to see if they get broken into as well. And then you otherwise head to dinner. Mrs. Hastings and Miss Green are at a table on one side. There are few people at dinner today. You go and talk to Mark Markopoulos at this point after dinner. Otherwise, having had a generic chat with Miss Hastings and Mrs. Green, or Mrs. Hastings and Miss Green, setting the stage for what is to come. Nora, having returned with Flinders, the group is dividing up to Flinders, Baker, Watts, and Brady are going to meet Mrs. Hastings and Mr. Cox down in the hold to cast the spell. Mr. Wright is keeping Miss Green busy in the dining lounge, and Mr. Draper is watching the box and rigging up the alarm wires. Anything that I missed there? Anything you guys want to add in terms of the current state of affairs? I take it no. We are going to hop into. Emily is going to taking the bone away from the dog. We gave Bree her marrow bone. It's one of her favorite things. We are going to hop over to the cargo hold. Give Emily a second to come back down since this is important. And while we are at it, I'm going to post a picture to Discord of Bree's feet after she went out for snow running around.
I guess it's clumpy cotton wool buds, it looks like. Yep.
Anyway, she basically pulled up like several snowballs worth of snow onto her fluffy feet.
Yeah, she was having a great time, and then all of a sudden she just kind of stopped dead and started like viciously chomping on her own feet. I was like, what is going on? I looked down and she's like trying to rip all the snow off. I'm like, oh, okay, dog, we go home.
Yeah, incredible amount of.
And my totally non-dog parents were like, oh, don't you have booties for her? Sure.
Yes, boots for our gigantic dog, who is very fluffy.
And balloons is what you need.
Okay, so you have found yourselves welcomed into what is the cargo hold with a cleared area in the center. You see a casting circle that has been drawn with chalk in front of you that seems to be glowing slightly. You have Mrs. Hastings and Mr. Cox, her butler, servant, whatever you want to call him, who are already down here having prepared to cast the spell. Mrs. Hastings looks up from the book that she is holding and says, just in time. Cox is assisting with the final aspects of the setup, but I was hoping there would be 6 of us. Has your friend Draper been unable to come?
Yes, he's otherwise engaged.
That is very unfortunate. I think it will work with 5 of us. One of us will have to stand between 2 of the positions. Do you see those markings on the edge of the circle, the hexagon? I need one of you at each of those points. I suppose I myself will stand between 2 of them where we are missing one person.
If you're sure you have other things to concentrate, I can perhaps take the responsibility.
If you are sure, Miss Baker, that would be much appreciated. I'll be doing the main casting of the spell from this book.
Yeah, I will, I guess, move into position between 2 of the points. How, confident does she seem at this point? Especially considering we've seen a, practiced witch, in theory, doing this kind of stuff.
So you can move yourself. The thing is up on your screen. There's an actual map. I made an actual map for this. Unfortunately, it's a little bit low effort. If you hold down Alt, it won't snap you to grid. Uh, 6 points. Hexagon.
Roll 20.
Yeah.
Flinders over here.
Oh, and then Flinders is there to help out. Flinders will head across. Let's see what's going on here. Flinders will head over. Oh, there are. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, well, I don't know. Apparently, I'm fucking bad at counting.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
We had a person she didn't think of, so.
And then Flinders shows up.
Yeah. Okay. Flinders coming out from in the shadows. Yeah, it's funny. I did all of this, and I just never counted Flinders because it's Flinders.
It's just Flinders.
Stupid Flinders. He
he steps forward, and everyone in the room is like, "Oh yeah, you."
Can you tell me the properties of this spell casting? What you need? What's going to go on? What to expect?
Yes, don't we need some sort of flute or something?
Flute. can't say why we would need a flute. The spell here written in the book, it seems to be merely a chant and involves summoning a portal of communication here in the center. I'll be reading from the chant. It seems to be written in some kind of script that is transliterated into something that I can read as Latin with my schooling, but I don't think it is truly Latin, or I don't understand it.
If I could take a quick peek. Have I looked at it before with her or not?
You would have briefly seen the book, you obviously, but you would not have taken a look over it in like detail.
I just take a quick look to see if I can tell if it is a portal of communication and she hasn't mistranslated that.
You can ask her.
Can I take a look at the book and can you show me where it says that it is a portal of communication? Just want to make sure that we're not opening up.
We do not have long, Mr. Watts, but if you want to come over here quickly, I'd be happy to have your advice just to make sure that we do this properly.
Yes, I'll take a look at it, please.
Shuffling over to her side, you look over her shoulder. The book describes in the original transcription that it opens that basically is a bit vague. It opens some kind of passage with the deep ones or the children of the deep, as she is translated. The Latin transliteration is what you would believe to be Relian. Because it does certainly sound like it. You don't recognize all the words. It would take you some time to fully translate it properly. But loosely speaking, you don't have a strong reason to believe that she is wrong or right. It may well be able to open a doorway of passage or communication. It kind of depends on the exact details, which would require further study.
Okay. I will walk back to where I was sitting, and I'll nod to Nora and Benjamin. Guns at the ready.
Sorry, Emily's letting the puppy out for a pee.
No
She's
worries.
been dingling nonstop. I'll yell. She heard me.
Yeah. I would have definitely made sure, because I think beforehand I had checked to make sure that my pistol was full, but Brady's gonna pull it out and double check that it is full of ammo.
Mrs. Hastings says, "No, I don't think any of that will be required. I can't expect us to have any serious troubles. Hopefully, we will be able to communicate with them, and worst case, we cut the channel off. In best case, we may find our way out of this terrible storm."
No reason to doubt you, Mrs. Hastings, at all. I'm just not fluent in what I was reading there. I think you're right in its communication, but it could also mean passage. I just want to be on the safer side. So, if you don't mind, it's something we probably don't need. It's overkill, I'm sure, but better safe than sorry.
Miss Hastings, in my experiences in the past, it's better to have something and not need it than to not have it and need it. So it's just precautionary.
If any of you want to do a brief spot hidden, if you're looking around the room in any careful
Sure.
sense.
I'll do it. I would have been looking at everything
No.
anyway. Ooh,
Oh,
No,
at
she's
100.
super safe.
He goes blind.
we get rushed by fishmen.
Fishmen everywhere. They were right next to you the whole time.
I'm sure it's feasible that I wouldn't be the only one looking around, but
Sorry, Emily. What you missed was that Watts went over and looked at the book. There was Aurelian written in it phonetically in Latin. It seemed like it is some kind of spell to open some kind of pathway between realms or something like that. But like whether it is for communication or it is for uh, transport is vague. It is not quite clear in terms of at least without much further study whether or not she is correct in her interpretation.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Probably not, but you haven't stopped me yet, and I'm all for it.
Mrs. Hastings says, it's like, we will begin in a moment. You should repeat after me as I begin casting this spell. It will take several stages, it seems, as we work through the transcription here. She opens the book and flips through it. Flips it back to the page that she had pulled up that she had shown Mr. Watts. In a deep, sonorous tone, she starts to read from the pages. The words vaguely familiar to Mr. Watts, something that with further study he might understand, but is only vaguely familiar to the rest of you in terms of your experiences so far. The initial words speak out, and the circle that you stand around begins to glow further. Right in the center, a wisp of smoke starts to rise up, and begins to form into a orb right in the center of the circle. Her chant continues with presumably you following along. Let me know if you do not. This orb of smoke begins to grow further. A bolt of what seems like a static charge, like a very small bolt of lightning, ekes out from it and comes across towards Mr. Cox. He steels himself. Oh, where's that freaking page? He steels himself. Where do I not? Okay. I didn't actually build a page for Mr. Cox. I'll have to he steels himself against it, withstanding the shock of the electricity, and continues to follow along. Mrs. Hastings continues her chant as this orb continues to grow. Another bolt of electricity comes out from the center of it, seeking its way towards Miss Baker. Miss Baker, make me a power roll.
Power.
The bolt touches you. You feel as if you are briefly engulfed in water that drenches you, seeks to pull you down, but you withstand it and stand tall, continuing the chant along with Mrs. Hastings. The chant continues, and it builds further towards its crescendo. Mrs. Hastings now sweating at her brow, speaking fervently, and another bolt of energy starts coming out towards our very own Mr. Flinders.
Ah, jeez.
Is this the end of Flinders?
He turns into a fish man.
Damn.
No, Mr. Flinders is very successful. Flinders stands tall, the power hitting him, and he steels himself, holding still on the edge of this circle, able to continue his chant without falling down. Mrs. Hastings continues to sweat and read from the book in front of her, flipping the page to continue down. The next bolt of energy coming out towards Mr. Watts. Mr. Watts, make a power roll. You feel as the water drenches you, pulls you down. You fall to your knee. You falter. You drop your chant and cannot follow her for a moment as nothing is able to be heard from you. You struggle your way back to your feet as the world is misty around you. For the moment, you can't tell what is happening, and it will be a moment before you come back to your senses. For the rest of you, sorry?
I'd perhaps argue that if I felt like I was being engulfed in water, one of his biggest fears, that might be worthy of a sanity roll.
Yes, that is a good point. I would agree with that. Okay, yes, give me a sanity roll. I'll allow you to. Oh geez. So you succeed in your sanity roll. You lose only 1 point of sanity. You feel your stomach turn and roil. You briefly allow some vomit to come up. It tastes salty in your mouth as it spills across the floor in front of you, but you pull yourself back to your feet. Mr. Brady, the chant continues. You see to the side as Mr. Watts falls to his feet and briefly vomits as this electricity touches him. But the other 3 people who it had touched so far had weathered it acceptably. As Mrs. Hastings continues to chant, you see a dim glow of light in the center of this swirling mass in the middle of the circle. It seems to be creeping out towards you. With that, the electricity comes across quickly and touches you. Give me a power roll. You too feel as this drenching water cascades across you, pulling you down towards your feet. With the second person faltering in this circle, the smoky sphere in the center roils and boils as it pushes outwards, touching towards different sides of the circle. It seems to be unsteady, unsure of itself, as it's potentially about to fall apart. Mrs. Hastings starts to chant more fervently, trying to get to the end of it as the 2 of you come back to your feet. Mr. Watts, give me another power roll.
Oh, my lord.
The feeling once again, this time less extreme, but you're having a difficult time pulling yourself back to your feet, and you aren't sure of exactly where you are anymore. It's confusing, the feeling of everything around you. You hear the sounds of the chant echoing about, but you're not sure where they're coming from anymore, why you are doing this, what the actual purpose of any of this is. Mrs. Hastings, in a push, tries to close this out. She pushes her will to the maximum, and with a hard success, the opening stabilizes. A swirling circle of energy appears in the midst of this. From any of your perspectives, it seems like the circle is facing towards you. It looks in upon a swirling deep, upon some kind of ancient altar that has forms that are swimming within it, that stand with a light behind them, that cast behind them and making them a silhouette. Thank you, Emily. I think another S word was not right. The silhouettes call out. You hear their bubbly voice across the void. The voice seems unfamiliar to you. Give me a Relian roll if you have any Relian skill.
Just Nora, right?
I think you, Mr. Watts, who would be just barely coming back to your senses. Yeah, I don't know if Nora has any. You understand the voice that is calling out. Mrs. Hastings looks confused, but you hear what is a deep, bubbly voice saying, "Why have you called us? What is it that you ask?
They're asking why we called out to them. We want to know why you are attacking our boat.
Attacking? Why do you travel across our lands? Return to us that which is ours.
What is it that you're in search of? What is it?
Our holy sepulchre. Our sir, our object of our deity, the one of the true artifacts of Mother Hydra.
Going offline a bit, we would have probably had an agenda on what we wanted to talk about now, right?
Yeah, so in terms of what you discussed before, there was basically a general just like, what's their deal? There is the fact that the storm is coming up on you, and you've probably drawn some kind of conclusion in terms of this storm and the fact that you are transporting this artifact across the seas. There is the fact that hybrid fishmen have shown up on the decks and assaulted you, and you don't like that. Beyond that, there might be your general investigatorial curiosity.
Yeah, there is. And did your deity attack a particularly large vessel? What year are we in now? 1924 or 3?
3.
1923. So, what would make sense? It wouldn't be. They wouldn't know years, would they?
Yeah, they would presumably know cycles of the years. I mean, the ocean follows a similar cycle in terms of the currents and so on.
11 years ago. Are we in the North Atlantic? That's where the Titanic.
You are in the North Atlantic.
That's where the Titanic went down, right?
That is where the Titanic went down.
A large vessel 11 years ago. Was it your deity that took that vessel down?
Give me a persuasion, I guess.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm never gonna know, am I?
You got the luck for that. They say irrelevant. We protect our waters as we see fit. Now, where is this artifact? Give it back to us.
What will happen with this artifact? Will there be any harm coming to land people?
We care not for the land, people, other than when you encroach upon our kingdom.
Do they? Are you planning to take over the planet for yourself?
Take over the planet, foolish mortal. We already control all of the planet that matters.
Okay.
As you are having this discussion, the lights flicker and dim, and suddenly then surge to further brightness before a few of the bulbs pop and the hole descends into darkness. Only the lights of the circle in the center and the actual portal itself cast a dim glow across the hold. And with that, we will switch over to, I suppose, let's switch over to Mr. Wright, since you may want to tap out sooner rather than later, if you're okay.
Do you guess?
All right. So, Mr. Wright, you sit amiably chatting, trying to ignore the increasingly violent rolling of the ship. The lights start to flicker more frequently. Suddenly, the flickering stops momentarily. Then the lights brighten suddenly before going out, a few of the bulbs popping with the surge of power. You hear shouts from a few of the other patrons who remain in the dining hall. Moments later, dim emergency lights kick in. You notice that the steady thrum of the ship's engines is conspicuously missing. Just as your eyes start to become accustomed to the dim light, you see the bursar, Mr. Barnes, at the door. He comes rushing over. Mr. Watts! I'm glad I found you. But where are your companions? I need help.
You missed the right, you mean?
Shit, did I say the wrong name? Oh my god.
So
I don't know,
Mr.
something about
Watson.
the W names, and I just flipped them in my head. It's literally written on the page. I said the wrong thing.
It is just fine. I look over to the greenhouse. She seemed to be taking things.
She seems very concerned, scared, has slipped down in her seat, seeming to make herself small.
Would it be a fair assumption we all have flashlights, or do we need that specifically in our inventory?
You'd have to be carrying your flashlight around with you. You wouldn't have otherwise had particularly a reason to be carrying a flashlight around.
That's fair. Just how dark is it?
It's dim. It's not like dark. Like it's like it takes a moment for your eyes to become accustomed to the fact that there is just like emergency lights on. But like these, essentially it moved from like engine power to battery power. So there's only like key lights around this place that are giving just enough light to be able to see by.
Okay. I take a moment to reassure Miss Green. I'm sure this is just a temporary thing. Give me a moment to talk to the bursar and we can either continue or postpone this interview. It was quite fascinating so far. Thank you. And I'll light up a cigarette and go over to the bursar.
The bursar, as you come over, he's arrives to meet you and says, "The passengers that we took, that we had locked up, the ones that were taken by some kind of hysteria, they have escaped. They seem to be obsessed with breaking into the forward cargo bay. A few of the crew and a couple other passengers are trying to help out, but with the engines out, we have few hands to spare. I was hoping that you and your companions could help us out."
Whenever he starts talking about engines and stuff, I cautious risk a glance over at Green and kind of gesture him towards the outside the door, outside of earshot.
He, I guess, then walks with you back towards the door.
I'm here interviewing Miss Green. What did you need with? This sounds like quite the situation. What did you need with my fellows?
I had heard from the other crew members that you had helped broker a peace with another of the passengers who had been taken by this hysteria. I was hoping that you might be able to do it once again. They are assaulting my men down in the hallway.
Oh boy, that's quite the situation. I'll do what I can. I'm not sure where the others are, but I can give it a shot.
Says, "Please come with me."
Miss Green, pardon me. I'll have to we'll have to reschedule this for at least a short intermission here. I'm sure you could use a few minutes to get accustomed to the strange lighting and circumstance here. I'll be back perhaps with some tea here in some minutes.
She says, "Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wright, but I should be on my way back to see my lady. Make sure she is okay given the circumstances."
Oh, of course you don't want to cause panic. The if I'm certain she's asleep by now, and waking her up would probably just cause more harm than good, don't you think?
I guess give me a persuasion or a charm roll.
Okay.
All right. I will say with a successful charm roll, she says, "If you'll really only be a minute, Mister Wright, I'll stay here for a moment. I would very much appreciate an escort back to the rooms."
Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way.
The bursar, Mr. Barnes, is pulling you towards the exit where the steps are down to the lower hold.
I go along at a brisk pace.
All right. He follows you down and says, "It seems like there's it seems like there's more of them that have been turned towards this hysteria. I hope that we're able to do something without this ending in violence."
Oh boy.
He brings you down into the hold, and I don't actually have. Okay, whatever. I'll just duplicate. I don't actually have a Barnes token. We'll pretend that this one over here is Mr. Barnes. You arrive down in the hallway towards the four cargo hold, the one that you would be aware that your companions are currently in casting the spell. You see in front of you a group of 9 men and women who are jostling with each other, pushing forward and pulling back as you come down. You see a group of crewmen and two people who do not appear to be dressed in uniform that seem to be trying to hold them at bay.
You said they're trying to get towards the cargo room that the ritual's taking place.
That is true.
Oh boy. Roughly how many individuals are accosting these two crewmen?
9. So if you're in roll 20 on the map, you can actually see it now.
Oh, so I can.
One guy in his underpants.
I'll close some of the distance and try to get their attention. My dear fellows, what seems to be the issue here?
The one in the back turns to you and says, "Great, you've come to join us. We must get in there. We must stop whatever is happening. The deep, it comes for us."
The deep. Now, why would the deep be inside some cargo hold?
I feel it. I know it. It has been haunting my dreams. I know this must be stopped. They will drown us. They will sink us all. We cannot escape now unless we stop what is happening.
Certainly someone with, I give him a once over. Does he seem like, does he seem educated?
The fellow that you've approached seems like a middle-aged fellow professional, otherwise relatively well dressed. but also seems frenetic. That there is a madness in his eyes. He is not totally right in his head.
Okay. Surely a fellow of such standing as yourself, broadly gesturing to his attire, would know that if there's any threat of the deep, then we should be going towards the upper levels of the ship, should we not?
Then you have not been spoken to. You have not dreamt of this. The danger is ahead. It must be stopped.
The crew is very capable and will be able to take care of uh, our needs. Though there are precautions up above if we're worried about this ship running afoul.
The sea is no escape now. We are too far into the eye of the storm. It batters us for all sides. It will only get worse if we allow what is due to happen to come to pass.
Um, I guess at this point I'll just try to stall. Just describe what these events you've seen in your dreams.
I will say, as you're saying this, give me a, I guess, spot hidden. Across the mass of the 9 people, with the ones in the front particularly jostling, you notice that the 2 people who are attempting to stop them, besides the crewmen, are in fact the 2 suspicious men who you have been warned of and were dogging your tracks. They have joined in the crewmen in trying to prevent the passage of these people into the cargo hold.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
The people in the front, while quite aggressive, are not quite straight up fighting yet. They are pushing, trying to make their way past, while the essentially wall of bodies of crewmen and the two fellows are preventing their passage.
Hmm. Does there appear to be a ringleader or somebody that's a lot more physically active than the others?
No, they seem to be sort of uniformly pushing in a group, with the couple in the back who can't make their way through the press of bodies, more receptive to your intervention because
Okay.
they can't make their way through.
Seems to be the biggest physically imposing person then.
One of the guys to the guy to the right of the guy that you're next to seems to be a larger, heavy-set fellow, older in age, but he has significant physical presence.
And this is the bursar.
Yeah, that's a bursar who I forgot to make a token for.
All right. I will attempt to hand my handcuffs to this bursar incognito.
I guess give me a sleight of hand.
Oh,
Wow!
we will take that.
Yeah. You carefully make sure you mark that off. That's a increase in skill for sure. You hand off the handcuffs to the bursar. Of course, the lights down here are also quite dim, and it's difficult to see. We will flip over to Mr. Draper before we get back to the group inside the room. Mr. Draper, some time passes after your companions had gone down into the cargo hold to help Mrs. Hastings with the spell that she is trying to cast. What have you been doing besides setting up your little not tripwires, alarm bell wires?
Once I finished that, I think I would have taken my tools and gone into the room with the object, the one that we moved it into, and then just kind of started fiddling around with some of my tools.
Alrighty. As you stay in there, the lights have been flickering, and it seems most passengers have retreated to their rooms for the night. Suddenly, the lights go out. After a few moments, dim lighting goes on in the hall and out on the deck, but your room is left in the dark. Do you want to try and do anything?
I'll wait a minute or so and just kind of listen to see if I hear anything.
Give me a listen roll.
Oh, my listen is not very good. Oh, okay.
Oh, damn! Very good. Listening carefully at the door, you hear movement out in the hall. And I will flip over to the map that I made for you.
A map just for me.
That's right. So you wouldn't be in this room. You would actually be... Oh, shit. No, I'm not in the wrong thing. Why can't I select you? There's tokens. Are you on the wrong level?
Yeah, I think it looks like I'm on the map. I can't select myself
Yeah,
either.
you're on the token layer. That would put you over here. So note that this map is not a perfect representation of the ship. That what there actually would be is more crew cabins left and right, and that the cabins across the hall would not actually be across the hall. They would be across a larger section with like the center of the boat. Basically, this map is a smaller ship than what we are actually on. So be it. Gives us an opportunity to do this. You hear movement in the hall and the sound of somebody banging upon a door down the way.
With my extreme success, could I kind of get an idea of how many doors down it is?
Yes, sure. You would know that this is the farthest room. That is one of your companions. I believe Norris? No, Norris is right next to you. This is... Oh, where's the handout? The Watts-Brady room.
Okay. I will pull my gun out and just have it ready and just kind of wait by the door.
Waiting by the door, you hear a gurgling noise, wet slapping. Unless you act immediately, you hear the continued banging upon a door, and then some sort of low, sonorous chanting. After a moment of the chanting happening, you hear a terrible shrieking of metal as as what sounds like the door is being rent asunder of the room at the far end of the hall.
Okay, I want to wait until it sounds like they've gone into the room, and then like try to peek down the hallway.
It would be hard to know for sure, but obviously shortly after hearing that noise, you could peek out, and what you would see is a single human form dripping water on the floor while dressed very bedraggled looking crew uniform. He seems to be standing guard outside the room as you hear the sounds of the room being tossed.
I am going to grab the artifact, the case, and then I'm gonna try to sneak over to the stairs. Oh, my camera froze.
It's funny. You're just like boop.
It was like a couple seconds lag on his camera as well from speaking.
Yeah, I know. It's clearly a little bit off.
I don't know what's going on with this camera. It was fine.
Yeah, I know. It was totally okay until months ago.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna grab the artifact and try to sneak over to the stairs. I guess heading to I wouldn't know how many there are. I just heard. I know there's probably at least 2.
Yeah.
Is the lunchroom where Right should be? Is that on the same floor, or would I need to go down a floor?
No, that would be on the same floor as where you're on.
And okay, would it be on the opposite? Would I have to go by them to get to it?
No, it would be on the front of the boat.
Okay, I will head there.
I think. Let me just check the map. I'm pretty sure that is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Totally is. Yeah, the dining hall is in the front of the boat.
I will try to, as quiet as I can, carry the artifact, the suitcase, and head towards the dining room.
Will give me a sneak. Or whatever the equivalent is. Stealth.
Stealth. Okay. Here we go. Nice.
Stealthy as hackers.
We got to get through as much as possible tonight, because wow.
I don't. Oh fuck! What is a default spot hidden? I don't have a.
All these 9s, 3s, 8s, and there's me rolling 100s, 97s.
That was so we could roll these good ones.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. I lost a little bit of sanity, but you're good.
As you hear the noises of these people ripping apart the room down the hall, you grab the case and you slip out down the hallway around the corner and make your way towards the dining hall. Anything else you want to do before we flip back over?
I mean, once I get to the dining hall, I'm looking for Right, or even like a crew.
So you arrive at the dining hall. There is a couple of the kitchen staff who are attending to the passengers, and a very scared-looking Miss Green sitting at one of the tables. But you do not see any of your companions. Notably, Mr. Wright is missing. And we will switch back over to our companions who are currently in the midst of the summoning ritual. Mr. Watts, you have been in charge of this discussion that has been happening with the deep ones that you have managed to reach.
Yep. Tell me, what is the artifact and what is it used for? Is it as dangerous as people have said?
Dangerous. I don't know why you would say such a thing. It is ours, and we intend to take it back. It has been missing for many a century, and we want its return.
Why did the land people? Why did they steal it in the first place, or take it?
Who knows why your people do what they do? Their insanity knows no bounds.
That is true. As far as I was aware, I was told that it was thrown overboard, but perhaps if it wasn't, is there a way? Do you have a replica? Maybe we could exchange it.
Give us back our artifact. Stop quibbling.
Been having dreams. People have been going insane. Is that a cause of the artifact?
Insane. Weak minds go insane. Those that are not weak find a path to enlightenment. We cannot be held responsible for the weakness of your race.
And you don't know why my people want it.
We do not care why your people want it.
1 second. I'm going to quickly relay this on.
Hold on a moment, folks.
1 second. I'm going to just repeat what's been real quick, like real Cole's notes, like let them know what's happening.
Sure. As you're relaying this, the silhouetted figures move closer towards the aperture. What do you guys say? Mrs. Hastings says, "Can you ask them about Atlantis, about the great peoples, or great civilization that was lost?"
I don't think they're in a very sharing mood.
Okay. I'll say while you guys are having a side discussion, but I'll say, are you the people of Atlantis? Or what we call Atlantis?
They respond and say, "The Atlanteans were fools. Those of them that were smart were gone before the fall of their island, joining our ranks if they knew what was good for them."
The island of Mu.
Mu is a holy place, a sacred place. You should not speak of it.
Trying my best to learn what I can from you. I'm not here to cause harm or insult to anybody, but you have people attacking us on the boats.
We seek only to gain what is ours, and we have placed it upon our underlings to find a way to do that. Should any of you be harmed in in such an endeavor, that is your fault, not ours.
If we were to give it back, would you guarantee a safe passage back to land?
We guarantee nothing, fools.
We've got a long boat ride ahead of us, guys, and they are getting aggressive.
Yeah.
The portal begins to crackle with electricity as their forms get closer to it.
Did you take down the Titanic? I need to know.
The first arc of lightning in this push against the portal pulls out towards you, Mr. Watts. Give me a power roll.
Shut it down. Shut it down. This is not a good idea.
The feeling of water pressing down upon you seems sevenfold. It feels as if you are deep within the ocean. Give me another sanity roll. Roll 1d4. Oof, you lose 3 sanity. You feel this welling up inside you, and a torrent of salty water gushes from your lungs as you fall to the floor and convulse. The portal shakes and pulses. The 3 tips of a prong suddenly shoot out from it. And the energy ripples around the edges of this portal as the tips of this trident slowly push its way outwards. Another bolt of lightning sears out from it towards.
While you're deciding who it's trying to shoot, who it's trying to attack, can I shoot it?
Not before you make a power roll because I rolled 4.
Okay, but can I shoot it after? No, I can't.
The feeling of an incredible pressure of water descending upon you hits you in the torrent. You fall to a knee and give me a sanity roll. Roll 1d4.
Told you guys this was a good idea.
You lose 3 sanity. You scream out as you feel the cold, wet, salty water well up from your lungs, vomiting all over the floor as you try and just disperse this feeling of drowning from within you, reeling back momentarily. Oh, funny, you rolled twice.
Yeah, I tried to edit it and clicked it again by mistake.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot better if it's the second one, wouldn't it? We will switch back over to Mr. Wright. The lights in the area around you begin to throb and pulse. It seems with energy coursing through them. The group in front of you seems to start losing control even further. They push forward. Whoop. Oh, snap. They push forward with a uncontrollable urge to find their way through the throng. The group of sailors and so-called passengers doing their very best to try and prevent their passage through.
I'll say back to the bursar, I don't think we'll be able to contain them, but we might be able to direct them. And I'll say, point at between the two people that are we know have been harassing us over the last week. I'll say, wait, I recognized those two. Those two are working with the fish people.
He looks at you incredulous and says, "The fish people, really? They've been passengers since we left."
Yeah, you can tell. Look, they're even dressed differently. They've been here this whole time.
I guess give me a fast talk. Is that a thing you're good at? I forget. It's honestly hard to keep track of all of the different things that you guys are good at.
I am good at charm and nothing else.
Yeah. Okay.
He said it in a seductive way.
I unbuttoned the top 2 buttons while talking.
Touch your nipple very daintily.
Fish people.
No.
He looks confused and says, "I think the more pressing matter is controlling the crowd here. I'll try and tackle that one." And he rushes forward to.
Oh wait, I was talking to the crowd, not necessarily like the bursar.
Oh, not the bursar.
No.
Oh,
like
okay.
I told the bursar, I don't think we'll be able to contain him, but we might be able to direct him. And then I turned back to the crowd, and I'm just broadly
the crowd you're responding to.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what kind of roll that would be. Luck? That feels like just straight up luck.
Well, my luck is 24.
You spent a lot of it.
Even worse.
Well. The crowd seems still undirected. They are seeking to overwhelm the group in front of them. I will do a couple of rolls to see how they do in relation to each other. The group at the front continue to manage to hold them back with their combined strength, using whatever they have in hand to create a wall against the force of the people pushing inwards. But it seems like they are slowly starting to falter.
I gesture towards the guy we kind of picked out earlier, to the bursar, the one that seems the most physically intimidating, and go to help handcuff him.
The bursar nods and goes to try and tackle the one in the front here. He attempts to make a maneuver to try and drag him to the ground. Do you want to help him?
Sure.
Well, you can make a brawl check. The two of you taking him by surprise are able to overcome him with his crappy 85 and pull him to the ground, snapping the handcuffs onto him behind his back. He writhes around on the ground. His companions seem completely unconcerned as they seem single-minded in their push towards the door. I wonder what they're like. Sure, we'll use that one. We will switch back over to Mr. Draper. I suppose you're no longer on this map. Symbolically. They're actually, funnily enough, I should have got it. There is a map that does have a dining room on it, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. You have entered the dining room. How do you proceed? You're carrying this box vaguely awkwardly since it's a bit large.
I will head over to Miss Green, I guess, and just be like, excuse me, Miss Green, have you seen any of my friends recently?
Because, indeed, Mr. Wright was here, I suppose, moments ago, but the power went out and he was called by the bursar down to help.
Help where? My camera froze again.
Oh, yeah, you're stuck again. She says, like to help down below. They moved away before I could hear much of it, but he promised to be back soon. Surely it's nothing too serious, just something to do with the engines, maybe?
Of course. Obviously nothing too serious. I was just looking, make sure everybody was okay with the power going out. But thank you. I'll be on my way.
She says, please, can you not escort me to my lady's room? I don't wish to stay here, but I'm scared of what is happening.
I'll look around. How many other people are here?
Probably about like a dozen. It's a fairly large dining hall with not many people in it, but that relatively would say is probably about 12 other people and maybe like a half dozen crew from the kitchens who seem to be milling around in groups, trying to hold steady themselves against the rocking of the boat.
I'll say, honestly, again, like you said, probably nothing too serious. Power should probably turn back on in a few minutes. And if there was any issues, honestly, I think this would probably be one of the safest places to be.
If you're sure, but please come back soon. I'm so worried. I hope my lady is okay.
Yes, I'll definitely. I'll check back in on you once I check in on my friends. And I will. Well, not. To get downstairs, where would I need to go from here?
You can't really. The map is not really accurate. There is. I guess let's look at the actual handout. There is.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks like there is right in front of the dining there's stairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that. Basically, there'd be right around outside the dining hall. There's stairs up and down.
Okay, I will try to, as quick as I can, slip around that corner to get down the stairs. I guess I'll go on the other side. I'll just go out the other side, so I'm not in that same hallway.
Yeah, so you're not going into the same hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's logical. While you're carrying the thing.
Yeah.
You slip down the stairs while carrying the artifact. You find yourself at the top of a set of stairs that then goes down to the cargo hold. You can look down and see that you have a Mr. Wright and the bursar, Mr. Barnes, who are at the down at like basically the base of the stairs down below with a crowd in front of them.
I will. I'll get as close as I can, and then I won't get like super close. I just want to get close enough that Wright would be able to hear me, trying to kind of call out to him.
That I would say you'd like hustle down the stairs a bit of the way, but probably not all the way down the stairs.
I'll just kind of like, hey, Mr. Wright.
Can I hear him over the struggle here?
I guess give me a listen roll, considering it's pretty loud. Yeah.
I'll get a little closer and try again.
So you'll be a little closer, and at that point he'll be able to hear you.
I'll say, we got a problem, and kind of gesture to the case I'm carrying.
I'll finish helping the bursar get the one individual under control, and I'll say, well, looks like my work here is done, and kind of back up slowly.
Do I notice the two guys at the end?
It's dark. It's a ways off. You'll have to give me a hard spot hidden roll.
Okay. And I don't think he would like be looking over this crowd anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be pretty difficult.
Nope.
Yeah, certainly not.
Is there like a side room that we could go into down here?
Despite what the map looks like, no. That like essentially the bottom of the stairs goes towards the hold on this end. You'd have to go down a different access way to get to the engine rooms.
Okay.
Or the aft cargo.
I'll say.
I'll do my best to interpose myself between the box and the two people that have been following us around, and say, we have got to get that as far away from here as possible.
Of course.
The two fellows that accosted us earlier are here.
Okay, so sorry, I am wrong. You could turn the other direction at the bottom of the stairs. There are other cargo holds in the middle of the ship going backwards from where you came down. I was mixing it up.
With that, I'll direct him and kind of like lead him around the stairs. With him pointing out those two people. I'll definitely try to get out of line of sight of them. And then I'll sigh and say, I didn't know what to do. I heard
what's going on. Why are you here?
I heard banging on Mr. Watts's room, and it sounded like they tore down the door. And then
so our rooms aren't safe.
Yeah.
I'll gesture to walk and talk. We're gonna have to find another place for this. All those people that have been going crazy over the last couple nights, they seem to have congregated around this ritual. I think they've got it under control at the moment, but I'm not sure how long
But
they'll last.
those two were helping hold them back.
I'm not sure how to take that. It is concerning.
I'm not entirely sure where else we could go in the ship, honestly.
Perhaps the captain's quarters. That should still have a guard.
Possibly. I just fear running into those fish men on the way back.
Well, their efforts seem to be split between this ritual and our rooms, apparently. So hopefully they don't have enough to cover our approach.
Okay. So I guess should we head to the bridge?
Wherever we can get this away from both those fish people and these mobsters.
Okay. Would there be a path we could take to get to the bridge that wouldn't take us through that room?
So from down below, you could make your way up, which would take you. It would take you up a bunch of steps. Basically, like you'd be on the edge of the hallway that your rooms are in. But like you wouldn't have to go down that hallway. You could continue upwards to the upper decks without actually showing yourself. So there's the possibility that maybe they're down there, like you'd be closer to them, but like you wouldn't necessarily have to be like stepping into the hallway where that you knew they were. And it hasn't exactly been super long, so like it'll take them some time to go through all the rooms. It's not unreasonable to think that you can make your way up there without getting caught.
Okay. Do you think the others will be fine?
I think there's not much we can do for them at the moment. Best we can do is make sure that our cargo is safe.
Yes. Yeah.
We have a few options. As you said, the bridge is likely the most secure place on the ship, but it's also going to be pretty conspicuous us trying to drop cargo off there. There's the captain's quarters, which has already been raided, which that could be a good or bad thing. There's also Miss Hastings' room, though I'm not sure that we can fully trust her. It would be unoccupied at the moment.
We are with a locksmith, who presumably brought his tools with him.
Yeah. I had them with me. In the other
Just
room.
leave these here. Who needs these right
Honestly, if these... I'm just worried they can sense where this thing is somehow.
You said they found our rooms.
Yes.
Were they directed? How did you get away from them?
I was in that man's room who presumably is in that crowd up ahead.
Yeah, he's in that crowd, 100%.
I was in his room with the box, and they started at Watts's room down the hall. I managed to slip into
So it
the dining
seems
room.
they know our the crew manifest at least. Which rooms where we would be assigned to. But they weren't directed towards where the object was necessarily.
True. How would going to the captain's quarters take us through the bridge?
Going by the captain's quarters.
Yeah, would that take us through the bridge?
They are near on your way up towards the bridge, like just before the top of the stairs. Before you go up to the top level outside to get to the bridge, would go by the captain's quarters. He's like basically right below the bridge.
Okay. We could go there, I think, and try to hide there.
I think that might be best. Though I should probably tend Miss Green at some point. I'm not sure what our designs are here with further working with Miss Hastings, but we should definitely get this secure first.
Yeah, it'll take me a minute to get back into the captain's quarters with how I left it.
Very well. I'll watch the hall.
You guys are ascending up the stairs?
Yeah.
All right. Before we return to the casting ritual, let's take a very short break for a quick pee break and get a drink. We return to our group in the hold who is running this summoning spell. Both Mr. Watts and Miss Baker are briefly overcome by the experience as the trident pushes its way through the portal. You see also a hand reaching out from the other side, and another bolt of lightning arcs out. And arcs out towards Jesus. Really?
Nora again.
Yeah, Nora again. Nora, you are barely coming back. Give me a power roll, a hard power roll.
Ooh. Are you feeling lucky?
Brutal. This does not affect your sanity, but you do fail it as it pushes you back down. You feel yourself being borne to the ground and flattened by what it seems like an immense pressure of water upon you. The creature continues to push itself outwards from this portal, trying to pull itself into your realm. A head appears outside of the portal as it slowly pushes its way through. Yet another bolt of lightning arcs out.
Is Benjamin just drinking tea on the side there?
I will give you guys an opportunity if you want to try and do something off script. Jesus Christ, shut up! Oh my God, this dog.
Santa's
She's like, I need to go pee. She does not need to go pee. She in no way, shape, or form needs to go pee. She's just like, why are you guys downstairs? Come upstairs and play with Puppy. Anyway, that's Flinders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to go off script in terms of you have some other thing you want to do, let me know. Is there something you want to do to try and stop the situation?
Yeah. I know
what
that
you gonna do?
Nora wants to unload her magazine into the portal, I'm sure. I wanna try and wrestle that trident away from the hand.
Okay, so the trident is definitely pushing its way out. You can definitely break formation and run in there. Nora is going to have to wait for a little bit longer to be able to come back to her feet. Mr. Flinders is going to have to make a power roll.
Oh, wait. These things can rip off doors and cargo holds. They are extremely stronger than I am.
Also, like, I don't know how magic works in this world, but I would say if it's anything like real life, whatever.
Real life.
Watts would know that, like, you probably don't want to run into the magic circle.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
Generally.
Flinders manages to hold himself steady and yells out, "Guys, they're coming through! Do something!"
Yeah, I mean, like,
Nora
I know-
chokes on the water as she's coughing it up. She's just like, we know that.
and Benjamin's still just dipping his tea bag.
Like,
I-
I guess my first Benjamin's first inclination, like as things are trying to like come through the portal, like he would want to probably try and like yell out to Miss Hastings about stopping, but if he saw Mr. Watts try and go after the trident,
The thing is, right, Watts knows about magic and would know not to run into the circle. But I feel like with Watts' mental state of losing force sanity and also being overwhelmed of the Titanic and the father thing, I feel like rage would be engulfing him to be stupid. I feel like that's a fair. What do you think? Do you want me to be a little bit
Yeah, I
safer?
feel like
Yeah,
either
I-
angry or scared is,
No, I know. 100%. I feel
100%.
like it's fight or flight. Fight or flight.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going with because I did yell at them about the Titanic just before I got shocked, right? So he is enraged.
yeah, I'm conflicted because Chris would like to see Mr. Watts go after this trident, but Benjamin would probably be like, "Yeah, let's stop this shit from happening." So yeah,
And
I-
I'm not strong.
yeah, I guess Benjamin would probably yell out and say, "Miss Hastings, I think we should probably consider stopping this. It seems like they're trying to come through, and it's seeming like it could get dangerous."
As you turn towards Mrs. Hastings, you see that a subtle vapor is issuing from the portal towards the center of her chest. Her eyes have rolled back in her head, and and her utterances seem to be coming unbidden, uncontrolled. She does not actually seem to be reading off of the paper, but instead seems to simply be speaking without any kind of direction or force.
So Benjamin seeing that, what he's gonna do is he's literally gonna sprint as hard as he possibly can and like just force himself into her to like push her out of the circle and just try and get her to stop doing whatever she's doing.
Like,
You,
block the connection.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
run towards her and give me a power roll.
Oh, for the love of God.
Oh no.
You slam into her, and it seems like some kind of force that cocoons her, pushes you back. You fall to the ground, rolling back from her as the seemingly like static electric charge, pushes you away from her physical form, and you're unable to make contact with her as she continues to chant. Mr. Watts, you are moving forward to grasp the trident.
Yes. I'm not gonna hold onto it where I'm fully dragged back into the portal. By the way, I would let go, but it's up to you to decide if that's feasible.
Yeah, you can move forward. You grab onto the trident. What are you doing with it? Are you
I
trying
like
to,
yank it away from them.
Okay, give me a strength roll.
What is strength? Where is that? Is that under combat?
It's just a regular stat.
At the top of the sheet.
Oh, there you go. I am actually pretty strong.
You're very strong. You yank upon the trident. As you pull on it, you pull not only the trident through the portal, but the creature that is holding on to it.
Whoops. Can I shoot at the creature that's coming through or just unload full clip?
We're gonna have to go into combat for the first time in this entire scenario. That's not true. We had one combat
Yeah.
earlier on. We're going into combat.
Nora shot a guy.
Yeah, Nora shot a guy. She just shot some random motherfucker.
He tried to steal my stuff. It was not unprovoked.
A news agents guy. They'll shoe polish boy. Just trying to get a tuppence for bread.
All right. You should have a thing that basically adds you based on your dexterity to the turn order.
Yes. Click your token first, though, right?
Yep.
I believe so. Yes. How do I do this for NPCs? Oh, there we go. Oh, what? Why did it say hybrid deep one? Do I have the wrong thing selected? That doesn't really matter. No, but it's the wrong. No, weird. Okay, no, it's fine. Why? I don't know. Oh wait, Nora's on it twice? No, okay. The hybrid deep one. Okay, some shit's going on. Hold on, I gotta remove this hybrid deep.
It might not have cleared the last combat.
Yeah, I think what it did was it re-upped the last combat.
Because I only see the new ones.
Yeah.
I found that it does that. Like if you go to a different screen, you can see the old ones as the GM, but everyone else can't.
Yeah, exactly. It added them back.
Oh, Flinders has high dexterity. Wily little fox.
Honestly, doesn't surprise me that much.
Yeah, 100%. No, Flinders knows how to get in and out of places in a jiffy.
This is why he's so sure that there's mole people, because he's like a quarter more mole person.
Yeah, he's in the holes, wiggling around.
What's going on with the butler? Is he incapacitated as well?
The butler is not incapacitated, but does not seem eager to join in the combat, so I have not added him.
Fair.
He may well act if acted upon, but otherwise is likely to retreat. Mr. Watts, you still see yourself? Because I removed what looked like it was a duplicate.
You did remove me to start with. I do see myself now, yeah, at the top of the order.
Now there was a third of you that I removed. Oh, I see Brady twice too.
I don't. I only see him once.
Okay, Brady and Baker, you still see yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay. So that brings us to combat. Mr. Watts, that actually has you acting first.
Okay, did I get the trident away from the creature or not when I pulled him through?
No, you are holding on to the trident, but he is also holding on to the trident, and the portal remains open.
I'm gonna put my gun to the head and fire.
Sorry, a single shot or a series of shots?
Because I'm point blank, I'll do a series of shots.
I do believe you can do that. Let's see, what were the rules for a series of shots? Because I read the rules.
Series of shots gives you the equivalent of disadvantage, penalty dice, whatever it is. So you roll the d10 part of it twice, and take the lower one. But if you are point blank, that essentially negates it because it gives you a bonus.
So I get to do max 3 shots.
Yes, you get to do normal 3 shots without bonus or penalty.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds right.
Should I go ahead and roll?
Go for it.
Bollocks. Can I spend luck on that?
No, you cannot spend luck on... Yeah, no, I don't think you can spend luck on combat.
Okay. Oh my god, are you serious?
I could be wrong. I believe you can spend luck on combat. You can't do push rolls.
You can't push rolls on combat? That makes sense.
You can luck on combat. You cannot push rolls on combat.
Can I spend 3 luck points on my first shot, please?
Yes, you can spend 3 luck points on your first shot.
There you go. Hit twice.
So that So you pull your gun out as after you pull this through with one hand upon the trident. You fire your gun, releasing your hand on the. Is it an automatic? Like, is it a semi-automatic handgun you have, or do you have like a revolver? Do you have to fan the hammer?
Colt 45, so I believe it's just a regular magazine.
Yeah, it. Yeah, so that doesn't require fanning the hammer, so you can do that one-handed.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Yeah, you fire 3 shots very in rapid succession, slamming into the center mass of this creature. And let me just double check to say make sure I'm down.
I was aiming for the head. I wanted to put the gun to the side of his head to shoot.
You managed to fire a glancing blow off of its head and another into the center of it, doing considerable damage as it spews out black vomit from the blood that enters its lungs. It falls to the ground momentarily, but its grip remains firm upon the trident as it seeks to pull itself back up.
My hand, I'm assuming, is still on the trident as well, gripped. We're wrestling.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all I'm doing. No movement.
Flinders sees this creature come out and must make a sanity roll. I did not require you to make a sanity roll considering the gravity of the situation, but everybody else will have to make it, and you will have to make it upon the next turn.
Okay.
Where the heck is Flinders? Oh, here he is. His I had minimized.
Oh. He is unlucky.
Flinders screams out girlishly and falls to the ground, retching, albeit not salt water, just generally retching. He is completely shocked by actually seeing some kind of otherworldly being. All right. It is the deep one's turn. It pulls itself back to the feet with you in front of it, Mr. Watts, and it seeks to wrestle control of its trident away from you. You need to make a contested brawl check.
Crap. Brawl is on the first page. Yep, he gets it.
He does not.
Oh
Shit, no. That's fucking wrong. There's something wrong with the sheet. What is his actual brawl? No, you're right. He also fails. The two of you go back and forth, holding onto this trident, pulling to and fro as he tries to pull it from your grasp. Neither of you are able to make headway as you continue to hold on to it. During this turn, a second trident starts to appear from the edge of the portal as Mrs. Patricia or Mrs. Hastings is continuing to chant uncontrollably. Mr. Brady.
All right. Am I prone or on my butt on the floor, or?
Yes, you are currently prone.
All right. If I get back up, am I still able to try and force myself? Looking at Miss Hastings can I tell if there's anything on her or anything she's carrying, wearing that might be helping her be the conduit for this thing? Is there immediately, can I is there a better way to stop her, basically?
Make me an occult roll or a mythos roll. I would say if you make me, I guess, make me a hard occult roll or a normal mythos roll. Sorry, math. Just throw math at you.
I don't know if I have mythos. I know I have occult.
Mythos is on the middle left.
Yeah, mythos tends to be very low.
Yeah, it's like
I would assume occult is a better bet.
Yeah, I have 5 for occult.
You have 5 for occult, really?
You might have better mythos then. It's on the mid left below your credit rating. Cthulhu mythos.
Okay, yeah, 5 for both. Oof. Yeah.
Pick the mythos because you don't have to do a hard occult.
Yeah, I guess I should have.
Well, either way, it's not very clear as to whether there's any specific way that you could be able to stop her.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to have my gun out at the ready, but I'm going to still try and maybe take a step back and try and lunge into her again to try and just break contact.
Give me another power roll.
Okay.
You, with a regular success, you manage to break through whatever it is that is holding you away from her and grab her around her midriff. But she seems unusually strong. At this point, you are now like essentially holding her in like a football tackle, but the body as yet is not moving. And that would be the end of your turn, unless you have some sort of subsidiary, like secondary action you want to try and do that would be tacked onto that.
I mean to be the party pooper in all of this, but don't we have to roll sanity?
Yeah. Oh shit! You're right. Oh my god, I did it for Flinders. I didn't do it for you.
I should have kept quiet, but I don't want to meta.
No, you're fine.
You're right. Yes, you should also roll sanity, unless you somehow didn't look at the.
No, I definitely looked.
Okay, well, give me a D4.
You were focused on Miss Hastings.
Well, like I'm sure with you shooting him, there'd be some commotion to look at.
Well, say because I forgot that you got to try and tackle Miss Hastings first. But with a failure in your sanity roll, as you tackle her, you realize what's going on to your right and see Mr. Watts grappling with some sort of strange, fishily scaled, trident-bearing humanoid being with long, spindly limbs. And the sight of which shocks your senses. You let go of Mrs. Hastings, dropping to the ground, and feel yourself overcome by the experience. You scream out and pull yourself back a few paces. And we will go to Miss Baker, who must make me a sanity roll before I forget.
Yay. Yeah, Nora has just been steadily losing sanity this entire campaign and not getting much back.
Roll a D4. At least the temporary insanity thing has to be all at once. It can't be so you've seen sketches, but what you've actually personally seen before has been hybrid deep ones, not actual full deep ones.
The ones on the main ship that we shot. Hybrids.
Yes, they were partially turned, not full deep ones.
Right.
Which is why I did not mention it in terms of Draper seeing them on the deck.
So I understand that like Nora is really scared and fucked up right now, but like I still maintain that her response to that would be shooting. Not necessarily shooting well or particularly well aimed, but shooting.
Sure, okay. You unload 2 pistol rounds at random, firing them off. Give me a luck roll.
Or what?
Whether she shoots a friend. She does
Not
not shoot a
close.
friend. You now are 2 rounds.
No.
You are now 2 rounds down in your magazine, which I'm assuming you guys are keeping track of because you do need to reload at some point if you use up your magazine.
Always. I have 7. I always have a count. Now I have 5.
All right.
I will say sure,
That is your sanity. Sanity thing is that you lose 2 rounds by firing at random and fortunately at least not hitting your friends.
But now the boat's sinking.
2 bullets will not sink a ship of this size. Come on. I think.
Mr. Watts.
Sanity now?
Now sanity, yes. Wow, close. You look at this thing deep into its eyes, and you see it is not truly other. It is simply some other kind of human to some extent. You feel some sort of deep empathy for this thing in front of you. You know it means you ill, and that you must fight it to the death. But it is not truly other, and you are able to control your response.
I'm gonna enjoy you on my steak for dinner. And I'm gonna shoot 3 more point blank range rounds at it.
Right?
Lord. Okay. And then I'm so unlucky today, but I'll take the hard success.
Unloading your pistol, the first round seems to pass over its shoulder as it rolls to the side, seeing you trying to shoot at it. You quickly pivot, still holding on to the trident, firing another round down, which hits it straight in its gut. And then you shoot a third round that seems to go wide. But as you yank upon its trident, it releases its grip and its prostrate form falls to the ground, unable to move.
Who's next for dinner?
Flinders, pulling himself forward, says, "We must close the portal!" And walks forward into the magic circle, holding his hands out. It seems that he has no clear idea what he is doing, but he's going to try and touch it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he had a good run.
As you do so, the next deep one is pushing its way out. Its head, torso, and arms are now pulling its way out of the portal. It reaches towards you, Mr. Watts. It is going to try and grapple you to pull itself out, holding on to your form since you are nearby.
Now dodge.
How do you respond? All right, dodge. Give me a dodge roll. Makes a brawl. Ha!
He falls back into the portal.
It swings at you, and you roll to the side with its arm going wide. It's struggling to pull itself free of this portal. It should be able to get out in the next turn, but as of yet, it's only halfway out. Mr. Brady.
The portal. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, Mr. Cox has retreated from the situation into the back.
Okay.
I was gonna tell him to do stuff. What a loser.
I thought he
Does
would have been
he-
trying to help Hastings?
Did he look like he was okay? Like just kind of scared?
Yeah, he seems scared. He's like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I don't get paid enough for this.
Okay. And so Miss Hastings still looks like she's being used to keep this portal going.
Yes, it seems that the portal is feeding upon her, and that she seems to be chanting an incantation now in repetition that the portal is feeding upon.
Like, I don't want to kill her, but I don't. Would Benjamin?
Slap her, bitch slap her. Like, do
Would-
something.
I don't know, just like something in her mouth so she stops chanting.
You did manage to grab her and just didn't manage to pull her to the ground before being overcome by your sanity response. It would not be unreasonable to think that you might be able to simply tackle her once more.
Yeah, I'm gonna like try and just judo throw her to the ground.
All right.
Tackle her or something. Yeah. Okay.
You'll have to give me another power roll to try and break through, and let's see how you do. Once again, you pull yourself to your feet and run forward, grabbing onto her. You manage to push your way through whatever barrier is around her, grabbing around her waist. You seek to pull her down to the ground, but the force required to push your way through with your power roll was not sufficient to be able to pull her to the ground in one fell swoop. You are holding on to her, but unable yet to break the control of the spell. And we will move back to Miss Baker, where you see one more of these creatures that is pulling its way through the portal and trying to grab at Mr. Watts.
Do I need to roll sanity again or anything?
No,
Okay.
it was only the first time you see one of these things.
Excellent. So there's one that Mr. Watts is kind of grappling over the trident with, and then there's another one just starting to push its way through.
I killed the grappler one.
Okay, so there's just the one trying to push its way through, and then there's the whole Mrs. Hastings still chanting situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think, yeah, Nora is upset enough about this whole magic thing. She's just gonna try and. Can I go around the outside of the circle and still get there?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna go over there, and I'm just gonna try and like grab Miss Hastings by the shoulder and just like stuff my handkerchief in her mouth.
Power roll to break through whatever it is that's surrounding her. You're able to break through the barrier and grab hold of her, but further action to try and stop her chanting it will require waiting for another turn.
All right, I will just try and hold on to her for now then.
Mr. Watts, you have ducked this creature's grasp, and it is pulling itself out in front of you.
I'm going to unload 3 rounds into this one from point blank, and I'll let you know that I only have 1 round left in my magazine.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a 10-round mag, right?
Yes.
All right.
No, it's a 7-round mag. I've used
sorry,
6 rounds.
7-round mag, yes.
Yeah. And then the others will be just click, click.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. So you fire off, and the first round hitting true, and then the next 2 going empty. The weapon, though, first shot strikes true and sinks straight into this creature that cries out in this gurgling noise, spitting black bile upon you as it struggles to pull itself through.
I will step back to the outside edge of the portal.
Alrighty.
Right next to Mrs. Hastings.
Does
Flinders-
Mr. Watts? Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask. Does Mr. Watts have like a handle on the trident now?
Yeah, I have it. It's 9.
Okay.
Yeah, holding on to a trident, 100%. Flinders walks up to the thing and says, "Don't worry, I've got it," and places his hand upon the exterior of the portal. Where?
This is gonna be bad.
Flinders grabs the hand of the thing and pulls it through. I've got it. I thought he was going to rugby tackle the thing back in. Oh, that happens. I'm nervous.
Yeah, where's the... Oh, there it is. Flinders cries out as you see electricity surge through him as his body convulses. His arm begins to sink into the portal and up to his elbow. The deep one pulls itself fully out from the portal. Turns towards Flinders on the other side. It gurgles something in some unintelligible speech before stabbing his trident towards him.
Oh, Flinders.
Poor Flinders had a good run.
That is a critical success.
Wow.
What the fuck happens with a crit?
Oh dear.
I do not remember what the critical success rule was. Oh, and I suppose, sorry, he gets to make a roll to see how well he does against it.
I'm looking in the roll 20 thing. It says a critical success is a roll of a 1.
Oh, is it actually a 1?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's like a hard success.
Yeah. So Flinders would need a hard success dodge, I guess.
The regular success dodge. Oh, not even. I clicked dexterity, not dodge. His dodge is only 30. So his dodge fails. No, you're right. It's an extreme success that gives a shit ton of extra damage, which this is not. So that's just normal damage. So he stabs into Flinders with his trident, which is still enough to cause a serious damage to Flinders. The weapon strikes into the center of him and then pulls back out, and a spurt of blood falls out, and Flinders falls to the ground screaming as he takes 7 points of damage.
Poor Flinders. That's a fair bit.
These damn NPC sheets. Where is his HP? I'll mark it on here.
Would he get a major wound? That would be a major wound for me.
Yeah, that's a major wound. 100%. He has got a major wound. Flinders is currently bleeding out.
No.
All right, Mr. Brady.
So I guess seeing that Nora is trying to like force this like handkerchief into Miss Hastings' mouth, I'm gonna try and also like help detain her and try and force my hand into to where Miss Hastings is and try and like help put this handkerchief in her mouth to like try and keep her from chanting. As well, or also like, is she still have like hold of the book?
Yes, she is still holding the book in front of her.
I probably have to pick which thing I do, right?
You do.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, going through the book might not be a bad idea, but
Yeah, I'm gonna try and. Yeah, I think I am gonna go with the book. I'm gonna try and rip it out of her hand.
All right. Give me I guess either a sleight of hand or a brawl.
Ooh, I am very good at sleight of hand, so.
Don't jinx yourself by
Oh
saying
my!
no.
it. That's your fault.
No.
You shouldn't have said anything.
Push.
Dice gods have spoken. Yeah, I don't know. You can't push combat rolls. This is a combat roll.
All right.
Yeah, you swing at the hand to try and grab the book from your position, and while your hand brushes against it, it seems weirdly cemented in place and unable to be moved. Miss Baker.
Oh, geez. All right. Yeah, I will just try further to shove my handkerchief and, if necessary, hand in her mouth to stop the chanting.
Same thing. I guess I could say you could either sleight of hand or brawl.
We'll go with the brawl.
Shoving the handkerchief into her mouth, you stifle the chanting, and you see her mouth trying to move, but her head thrashes and shakes. The portal begins to waver as the chanting begins to cease.
Is that like my whole turn?
That is your whole turn.
Okay.
Mr. Watts.
Yeah, Mr. Watts has been thinking about designing a new game called Pokemon, and he's decided that water creatures, Pokemon, are weak to electric. So I'm wondering if I can use that trident against it.
All right.
No, I'm not really. What I'm going to do, I'm assuming Benjamin is stood next to Mrs. Hastings.
Oh, yeah, he was all over here.
I'm going to attempt to take his... Do you have a pistol or a rifle on you? You have a pistol? You're muted, but I lit red. So I'm going to attempt to take his pistol and take aim and shoot.
Assuming Mr. Brady isn't doing anything to stop you and it's just in a holster, then I think you could just do that.
Yeah, so I'd like to take aim and shoot at this creature.
All right.
Or not take aim. I'm just going to shoot regular. One shot. No aiming.
Yeah.
So is that just a regular roll?
What kind of pistol do you have, Mr. Brady? You're muted.
It's the Colt 45, you said as well.
Oh yeah, it's the Colt 45. My bad.
Good lip reader.
Yeah, there you go. I figured probably, but
yeah. So
right.
Just one shot regular? Is that how it goes?
Sure.
If I'm not, yeah. Oh.
It's a pretty safe bet because like there aren't that many options, and the Colt 45 has the lowest failure rate. So.
Mm-hmm. So the shot goes wide, and it unfortunately does not hit this creature. That is the end of your turn. Flinders is prone on the ground, groaning, and he reaches out to try and grab the leg of this creature.
Flinders is gonna end up being like such a badass, and we're all gonna feel real stupid for being mean to him.
I've not been mean. I've been working with him for the past
Well,
year.
taking advantage of his gullible nature.
The 28 actually is not a failure for sure. Flinders reaches out and tries to grab the creature. The creature turns around, slashing at him with a fist, punching downwards as Flinders grabs onto his leg. The fist slams into Flinders' face, and he takes 5 damage, which is enough that Flinders is now dying. The deep one, having done that, dealt with the one, turns around and strides towards Nora with its trident outstretched. The trident lashes out forwards from a distance, and you have to choose whether you dodge or fight back, which will either one result in you letting go of Mrs. Hastings.
Yeah. So what was the thing? Isn't one of them, is that like,
If you dodge, you only need to get a same level success. If you try and fight back, you must get a better level of success.
but I can't dodge and hold on to her.
No, I don't think so. It's just in terms of like, you're standing there.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I mean,
I would say you could dodge with an extreme success and still hold on to her.
You've been rolling quite well as well.
all right, we're gonna just go for it because she's pretty committed to this. My dodge and my brawl are the same number, so it's like, meh. I may as well try and go for it.
Wow.
Hard success. It's pretty good.
That's really good.
37, I believe, is a regular success for him. All right. I guess I was counting extreme success against like a regular success, but he failed. So I will say that you managed to dodge around the back of Mrs. Hastings, but you have not broken your pass through her shield.
Cool. I've just got like 2 fingers like in her mouth trying to shove this thing in.
Mr. Brady.
Can I make an action towards Miss Hastings and also hand over my? I guess did Mr. Watts
okay.
actually? He did take it. It's completely on your person. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I guess I'm going to try and remove the book from Miss Hastings again.
All right, one more sleight of hand. With that, you whip the book from her grasp in a fell swoop, and in just the right way, as the book falls from her hands and into your grasp. Her eyes roll back to normal. The feeling of energy around her dissipates, and the portal closes, descending the room into darkness with only the faintest of emergency lights lighting the hold. She falls down on the ground into your arms. Miss Baker. In the dim light, you can just see as there is this creature looming over you that has just tried to stab you with its trident.
Yay. Can I shoot it?
You could try and shoot it.
Are you now at point blank range to it now?
Is 10 feet point blank range. It's
No.
got reach on its stabby stab.
Can I close the distance and shoot it?
You can certainly close the distance to shoot it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I will rush in, try and like grab the side of the trident and like rush in and put my gun up to its head and fire 3 shots at it.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Oh, hot success.
Wow.
Whoa!
And an extreme.
The second extreme you got on a rush in and shoot a thing. Let's keep this at. All right, you run in as you reach out with your left hand and grab the trident, shoving it to the side. I suppose I should see whether he can dodge. It probably can't, but we'll see.
Damn it! And I had this thought like, oh, I should go check on Flinders. I have high first aid, and then I just didn't.
Not good enough. As you rush in and grab things aside, the first shot goes wide as it manages to try and wrench the trident from your grasp. But the second shot goes straight into its midriff and splatters black blood across you. But you're unfazed as you raise your weapon straight towards its face, time slowing briefly as it feels like you have all the time in the world to take your shot. You unload a third bullet that passes straight through its through its mouth, through the top of its mouth cavity, up through its brain and out the back of it. The brain exploding out across Flinders' dead body behind, and the thing's body falls to the ground as the shot goes straight through. Flinders' dead body. You have you have some time to be able to try and save Flinders.
Flinders' prone body.
Flinders' prone body.
Wrong body.
But with that, you are out of combat.
I guess.
Without even stopping to like wipe any of the gore off herself, Nora will just step over this prone body and very calmly like put her gun away as she walked towards Flinders to check on him.
Well, if you guys have any questions of order before we wrap up, we're going to say that's a good point to stop.